Welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Stella.
And we're the drawing duo. Last video we did, we used Finn as example, Finn from Adventure Time. His body is very geometric in shape, head and mostly squares, ovals, rectangles. But his arms and legs are very much pipe cleaners. They're kind of all wavy and he waves all over. So this next character we're going to look at today, he's much more organic head to toe, the way we build him. So we're going to take a shot at this guy. He is
Dipper Pines.
Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls. I must say Gravity Falls is one of my favorite cartoons. So I'm excited to draw him today. So let's get to it.
Yes.
The difficulty with drawing organic characters is the more organic they are, the more difficult it is to get them right. And so this character, which is Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls, he's going to be difficult because he's not very geometric. There's a lot of organic aspects to his line work. And so this is going to be a hard one. We do our best. We try and draw him as he is, and it's possible to turn out great, and it's possible to turn out terrible, but we'll give it our all. So we're going to start with his eyes because they're a big feature of his. Yeah, we can turn ours this way. That'd work. And he's got two big ovals for eyes. And one overlaps the other.
And it's too big.
And I made my overlap a little too much, so I'm going to just erase it. Again, we can erase, it's fine. That's the good part of this. And he's got two little circles. And then he's got almost an oval for a nose, but it doesn't quite finish. It overlaps the eye. We could draw the oval just to put it in there. Okay, we got an oval for his nose. Now his head is a little bit difficult because it's kind of a what you call a bean shape. A bean shape is used a lot for heads, it's used a lot for bodies. So we're going to rough in a bean shape. And a bean has kind of like a circle on this side. Okay, but it's going to be kind of like a lima bean or a black bean or something like that. So he's got a bit kind of this bean thing going up. And we're just going to rough it in because we're going to add a lot of stuff to him. So he's got his eyes, the size a little too not circular enough. There we go. Okay. He's got a shape that's very much just kind of an organic shape for a mouth. It's not a geometric, so it's kind of this, it's also a little bit of a bean-shaped mouth. So we're just going to put the bean-shaped mouth in there, just rough it in. We're going to come back later when we get all the parts in. Okay, his hat is difficult to do. So back here, from about where his mouth is, he has a kind of a big, ears are always good as kind of C shape, so it's, my C shape is a little, I think it's good.
And he's like, ah!
So we're going to put a C shape back here to show where his ear is at. Okay, but from above his ear, about here, okay, and we're going to go diagonally across above his eyes. Okay. And then we're going to come out past his eyes quite a bit. And we're going to bring this big loop back right above his eyes. So this is kind of the difficulty of organic shapes, is it's hard to draw them because every time you draw them it could be totally different, and that's okay. It's okay if you goof up, it's okay if it's not perfect. And the more you draw him, the better off he's going to get. His hat is interesting. So one of the ways you can kind of build a little bit of a three-dimensional look is sometimes you can kind of sketch out elements. So he's got a little bit kind of towards the center of his eyes, he's got a high point on his hat. And he's got almost in line with his head here, because the hat goes up the head, he has a lower point on the hat. And then the hat is going to slope down where back behind his ear, where his head would end, is another low point. So you get this shape that's going to look like a little bit like this. And I'm making it a little too organic here. I'm going to have to clean it up.
Like a pirate hat.
Yeah, a little bit like a pirate
like
hat.
Like a Silver's hat or something.
And he's got a little knob back here. It cuts kind of towards the back of his head. Cuts down in color. And there's a little bit of a knob up here. So we're going to put the knob in there. And then he's showing from where this color ends, he gets this other side of the brim that shows a little bit of depth to it. And so we're going to bring that brim up. Going to show the other side of the brim. And we start to see his head kind of come to
Shape.
Come to shape. Now we're going to draw him up to about the shoulders. We're not going to draw his whole body because he's organic, this is going to take a lot more effort. So we'll try and keep it simple. Stick with the head for now. He's got the chin that comes down. He's got this kind of coat that comes up around he likes to wear. It's like a vest. We're going to draw a little bit of the vest to show where it locates at. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to fill in the aspects so we can kind of get his hair right and his dimensions right. And he's got kind of a neckline down here. And then he has the kind of other part of his vest that comes up under his neck on this side. And his arms come down and the vest comes down. But we're not going to go much further than that. We're going to stick to his head. So we're going to work on cleaning up some of the lines so that some of the excess goes away. So let's get rid of some of these lines that we used as guides. Okay.
These. And these.
So I'm cleaning up his eyes. I'm going to clean up his nose because his nose is not fully enclosed. So his nose is kind of a circle shape. But what we want is this oval that kind of, it doesn't end really. It doesn't complete. And this eye comes all the way through.
Yay.
And we start to see this guy that starts looking like Dipper Pines. So now comes the hard part, is we have to figure out how to fill everything in with his hair. And his hair is going to be the most challenging part. That's much more organic. Hair is a difficult thing to sketch. And so we're going to work our best here. So he has this kind of
loop right
this kind of B shape. It's like the letter B that shows his front hair. And so we're going to put that in there. It's not too big. Kind of gets under his hat there. And then back about where his hat and the brim kind of line up, he has this arc that comes down. And it connects up to his ear. Kind of connects into his ear almost. So you get these two little parts. And then you get a little kind of oval that comes behind his hat, and it kind of comes down as an arc, and an oval that comes down behind his ear, and then finishes up coming up under his collar, and then his chin comes down into his fleece, and we're going to enhance his chin and darken some of the areas that he has. And then this is the point where we kind of fill in and we start to really see Dipper come out. And it starts to really look like him. He's got his hair in. He's got his eyebrow up here that we're going to put in. And he's got a little bit of a line outside his eye on this side. His mouth has an upper set of teeth. Comes across. And then his tongue is at the bottom. And then the last thing, if we want to add it, is the pine tree on his hat.
Pine tree.
And there you have a really rough sketch of Dipper Pines. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's video where we drew Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls. Dipper Pines, he's fun. He's a really good example of a character that's made up of a lot of organic shapes. He's hard to draw because he's organic, so practice, practice, practice. Try drawing him a bunch more times. We're going to move on from there. That's our kind of videos about structure and form of a character, and we're going to do what next?
Head shape.
We're going to look at head shapes. We're going to see how you can use different objects to make up head shapes. I think we're going to look at maybe Hey Arnold as an example of that. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you back again soon.
Adios. See you next video.
See you next video.